When the initial critic reviews for Joker 2 were coming out, they were mostly negative. And I was a bit surprised as I was like, bro, it's a Joker film. It's supposed to be good. What's going on? Then I remembered, oh yeah, critic reviews are kind of stupid because like sometimes the audience likes movies. A big example is the Venom movies, where the critics absolutely bomb it, but the audiences love it. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for the audience reviews and see what happens. I bought a ticket for the premiere and I was feeling pretty good, that after 5 years we're finally getting another Joker film. And then the audience review started coming out and it was like 35-40% liked the movie. And I was like, oh, okay, so it is bad. But I was still optimistic. I was like, okay, I'm a simple guy. Sometimes there are movies that people don't like that I do like. I can't name any examples on the top of my head, but there are a few. So I was optimistic. So I went to watch the film, and then I came back, and I can't put into words how disappointed I am. Like, to be fair, this Joker movie felt like I wasn't the target audience, but I should have been, man. I rewatched Joker 1 like a day before the premiere, so like 2 days ago, right? And I absolutely loved it. I was like, wow, how come I haven't rewatched this film more times? It was so good. The plot, the narrative, the cinematography, the acting, the direction of the film, the tone of the film, everything was literally perfect. It made sense why I won so many Oscars back then. Where was that? Watching Joker 2 felt like watching a YouTube channel pivoting their content. For example, we have maybe someone like Mr. Who's the Boss, like I think he's the biggest tech YouTuber, right? And he becomes a Fortnite YouTuber. Like it wouldn't really make sense. There would be an audience that would carry forward with him. Of his 20 million subscribers, maybe five would stick around, right? And even of those five, as time goes on, they'd lose interest. Maybe he'd only keep 1 million of those initial followers. That's what Joker 2 felt like. It was a pivot. They had a core fan base they wanted, and they turned it into a forced musical, which I guess would have been okay, but the execution was just off. It kind of reminded me of the upcoming Minecraft movie Crisis. Just like that, if they wanted to make a musical, I don't think live action was the way to do it because there's so much more you can do with an animation type style. Um, because you can be more vibrant with the colors and stuff, and you can always tweak the animation to make them look a little more goofy, I guess. I don't know how to put it. I guess a good example would be Has Been Hotel, and the way they executed musicals worked really well because it fit the character's tone. It was the way they expressed their emotions. For example, the lead cast was Charlie, right? The way she expressed her emotions through music made so much sense. It didn't make sense with this Joker at all. I never watched the 1990s Joker, but maybe it could have worked for the animated style back then and made it a musical then. Maybe that could have worked. It didn't work for this Joker because the tone set in the first film was so grim, moody, and painful for the character. Like the things Arthur Fleck went through in his childhood and to the betrayal of his mother in the first film. How could you possibly expect him to start singing just because he met a woman in a friggin' hospital? Like, it doesn't make sense. So this might be a small spoiler, not a really big plot relevant spoiler, but it is kind of a spoiler for his character, I guess. If you want to skip, you can skip like another 20, 30 seconds. But Joker, he didn't laugh that much, which was, I guess, was a character development thing because he was in a hospital for a while. And I guess it kind of cured his laughing mental illness that he had, which was, I guess, okay, but it just took away from his character. And second of all, I guess this is a major one, a major spoiler, so I'm gonna click away. He didn't kill anyone, like at all. There was no killing. All the killing was in his mind that, oh, maybe I would do this, I would do this. He didn't actually kill anyone in this movie, which was a huge departure from the last film where he killed six people. That's Joker. Joker's a murderer. And he didn't kill anybody. He was innocent, practically. Well, he wasn't really innocent, to be fair, but he was a shell of his former self. And also, whenever he showed up in his Joker mask or his Joker face paint, most of the time, and by most, I mean most of the time, like the first two-thirds of the movie, in my opinion, was only in his like fantasy mind when he was doing musicals. So Joker was practically not there at all, which was really weird. Then he finally showed up with the face paint, but by then it just felt too late. I don't know how else to say it. It just felt off. To be fair, there were a couple of ups in this film. My favorite scene from Joker 2 was the courtroom scene between Joker and Gary. Gary was that short guy in the first film. And the reason it was good was because there was literally no musicals in between. It was like, I think, a 3.5, 4 minute scene, and there was no music. There was no musicals. There was no singing. It was actually a bit serious for once, and you could feel the emotional tension between those two. I won't get into the spoilers, but it was, I think, the best scene there because it kind of fit the actual tone of the first film. Kind of. I don't know how else to say it, but it felt more serious, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So this is like a very tiny spoiler. It's not really a spoiler though. You'll see in a minute. But for me, things got really interesting in the movie where Arthur Fleck said, "I can't do this anymore." So if you watch the movie and you hear that line, you'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's what Venice was talking about." Maybe you won't find it that interesting after that. But for me, that was like an "oh my god" moment. Like, okay, things are gonna get spicy. They did get kind of spicy for a little bit, but then again, the music started and it didn't make sense at all. And talking about making no sense, oh my god, the ending. I'm gonna avoid spoilers as much as I can for the ending, okay, so I can talk about it without ruining the movie for you guys, but the ending was so flat. It didn't make any sense at all. Honestly, when the ending happened, I was like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Why? Why? What was the point? It was like you built up to this moment, and like I'm moving my left hand right now because I have the mic in my right hand. I'm moving my hand up. You were building towards something, and then just falls flat. And it really fell flat. It did not feel like the ending of the first film really left you with, wow, wow. This one felt like, why, you freaking idiot? What is the point of this? This is going to be a bit of a spoiler, but again, I'm going to remove all the major details as much as I can. The last scene involves a random guy. That's the only spoiler I'm going to give you. And that I feel like was a huge problem in the ending. It involved a random guy. We saw this guy in one scene. At least I can only recall one scene. Maybe others saw them in more scenes. I only saw them in one scene. And that was it. And that was by far one of the most crucial scenes in the entire film. And he was only seen in one scene. I didn't even hear him speak until that scene. And it felt so random. Like, dude, where's the character development for this guy? What happened? And I didn't see it in the theater at the time, but they're saying that there was a lot of disrespect by this character, not the guy, not the actor, but the character, that random character. It was a bit disrespectful. You'll see what I mean, but pay close attention to him in the final scene. You'll see what I mean. Overall, I really feel like the film doesn't deserve a 40% rating. Maybe a 55% rating, which I guess isn't that much better, but I think 40 is a bit too low because the cinematography was still good. It really deserved that. The music score, not the musicals, the music score was good. I mean, no offense to Lady Gaga, she's an exceptional singer, but again, it just didn't fit the movie. You know, the music was, her musicals were great, it just didn't fit the movie. And Gaga and Phoenix were exceptional. I really think that Phoenix might win Best Actor again. Well, maybe not because of just how bad the film was. But if the film was good, like anywhere close or even half as good as Joker 1, yeah, I think Phoenix would win another Best Actor here. Because he showed more, like his dancing skills were actually really good. He again starved himself to death for the role. He mimicked an accent really well in one of these scenes. He's such a versatile actor, honestly. And Joker really shows that, so hats off to him. And yeah, overall, in my opinion, it was an okay film. I would recommend the film for people who want to see Phoenix and Gaga acting. But if you are a Joker 1 fan like I am, then treat this film like non canon. Joker 1 ended when Arthur Fleck was running in the hospital, or in the end of the first film. That's where it ended. It's non canon. After this, no. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm a bit disappointed. I'm actually pretty disappointed. I hope Gladiator 2 doesn't fall flat because that's another sequel that we never needed. So I guess we'll see then. But yeah, until then, bye.